but still it's hot, especially here. I mean, we're still dealing with those excessive heat warnings for a heat index up to 115. Some spots getting lucky and seeing rain. This rain is not going to last very long. In fact, once the sun starts setting, these storms will lose a lot of their energy, and that's really what's going to stop any additional development at this point. But we're still seeing a little of that cloud cover. Canton, Athens, Corsicana towards the south along Interstate 45. So if maybe you're taking a trip to Houston, you may be running into some of this activity if that trip happens to be before sunset. Now, we are still looking at some added activity along our western counties as well. Albany, Abilene, looking at you along Interstate 20 there. We'll continue to see some added activity as well. If you're not under a storm, you're dealing with the intense heat. The actual temperature right now is 101 in Dallas, 103 in Fort Worth and in Denton. But if you are underneath that cloud cover along our southeastern counties, temperatures in the mid 80s, not too shabby at all, even upper 70s in some spots. DBU, not one of those areas, 103 for the actual temperature, but it feels like 109. And I am expecting temperatures to really stay close to that 100-degree mark on Saturday, upper 90s for the end of the weekend into early next week. On Wednesday, I'm thinking we could start seeing those numbers drop down just a tad, and it's because of this ridge of high pressure letting up some of that steam. Okay, so right now it's sitting right over North Texas. Wherever that high pressure is strongest and whoever's underneath that ridge of high pressure is dealing with the highest of heat. And that's the case for us right now. Eventually, we're going to see this weaken its grip over North Texas and progress towards the east. As that happens, it's going to allow for a few disturbances to roll in, and it could likely give us some rain potential. Now, through next Friday, we could see about a quarter of an inch. It's not for everyone. Look at how scattered it is across the region. But some spots closer towards southeast Texas could see up to half of an inch. That is not including Labor Day weekend rain. There is a chance for that. It's a little too soon to give you too many specifics on that. As far as our fire danger, it's still elevated along our western counties. It has to do with the fact that temperatures there have been close to 110 degrees during the afternoons, the last several afternoons. The humidity is low. That low humidity is what's allowing the very hot conditions to come up, and we're also dealing with some dry vegetation. You know, I did mention that earlier in the year we did see a lot of rainfall that allowed our growing season to be really prolonged, and unfortunately, because we haven't seen rain in the last few weeks, a lot of that added growth is now drying out. So that just gives a lot of room for fires to really get going if they happen to start. That's why we're trying to avoid starting any fires, and several burn bans are in place, including Tarrant, Johnson, Ellis, Kaufman, Rockwall counties, and several counties to our west. 79 tonight, southeast wind at 5 to 10. It's going to be warm, humid, light winds in place, 100 degrees for tomorrow. Hot, humid, breezy conditions. The 14-day forecast showing one more day of triple-digit heat. And if we make it there tomorrow, it'll be the 24th of 2024. After that, we're looking at upper 90s through the middle part of the week. And then as we approach Labor Day weekend, we could very well see some mid-90s thrown into the mix, which I don't think I've ever been more excited for the mid-90s, Morgan.
All right, Marielle, that makes two of us.